Hey, folks, welcome to Affiliate Nerd Out. I am your nerderator, Dustin House, spreading that good word about affiliate marketing. And you'll find me nerding out on Tuesdays and Thursdays on LinkedIn Live and anywhere you get your podcast. So please consider subscribing. My guest today is Mindy Pinar, Director of Accounts over at PerformCB. Thanks for joining me today, Mandy, and welcome to the Nerdatorium.
Thanks, Dustin. Super excited to be here.
Well, anybody that is watching comes in, make sure that you jump in this Q&A and throw in some questions or some heckles. Don't you worry, we can handle it. Come on in, the water's nice, and ask away. So without further ado, Mandy, who are you?
Well, that's a loaded question, Dustin. But for the sake of this podcast, my name is Mandy Pinar, Director of Accounts at PerformCB Agency. I have been in the affiliate space, 10 years as of today. Or not today, but as of this year, and 12 years in digital marketing. So that kind of ages me a little bit. And I got my introduction in a small little agency that used to be called affiliatemanager.com that was acquired by Gen 3 Marketing. So I've gone from started my career at an agency, left the agency after 5-6 years, went to private sector and was working at brands, and I was their brand internal affiliate manager. Loved that. Went to the publisher side of things, was at LTK for a brief period of time, and found myself back at my passion, which is agency management and working for brands directly.
Well, awesome. I didn't realize you were an affiliate manager. I love Mike. He was an early mentor of mine and always very helpful in my career, and love him to death.
Great guy.
I haven't caught up with him in years since he saw it. I just expected him to be on an island hanging out with Brian.
I think he did that for a period of time, but if you know Mike cannot lay down for a very long period of time. He's always got to have something going.
Yeah. I think he gave me some free sunblock one day for he's like, please write a review for it. Here's a free bottle. I'm like, cool. All right, you got it, buddy. All right. Anyway, good to hear about your background. Thanks for explaining. There's going to be a link in the bio to Mandy and where she comes from and how you can get a hold of her. So please check in the chat down below, and I will get that in here shortly. Now, as we get into this, we've already got a few people jumping in. So excited to hear this from Mayhem. Do you know?
Yeah. Maham is actually one of my growth managers at PerformCB. So what would in a traditional agency would be called an account manager. She's essentially a growth manager for PerformCB. So she's my little cheerleader.
Well, we'll take cheerleaders all day here. We've got another cheerleader, go Mandy. I'm not sure who this LinkedIn user is, but sometimes that shows up. And identify yourself, LinkedIn user, if you want to be on there. Ask a question. Okay. So speaking of PerformCB, tell us about this name. Every time I look at it, I see it and it stands out and it catches my attention, and I hear about you guys in this industry, but I want to know where this name comes from, first of all.
Sure. So I'm happy to kind of give you a little bit of history on who we are and how we became. So if you're familiar with a network that used to be called ClickBooth, it used to be a really well-known lead source third-party network. They acquired, they acquired a small little agency out of Denver, Colorado called Ignite OPM. And they married together, and PerformCB was born. So the CB stands for ClickBooth. That's where that kind of comes in, just a reminder of our history. And since then, and since our inception and throughout the years, we were established in 2002. So we're talking 21 years that we've been in business. It was established in 2002. We've acquired multiple different types of companies like AdPurio and those kinds of things, and have brought them under the PerformCB ecosystem. So we have our network side of the business, which used to be ClickBooth. We have our paid media side of the business, which used to be AdPurio. We have our agency side, which used to be Ignite. And because we are one organization, our motto has always been "We Perform." So we evolved into PerformCB.
Fantastic. Okay. And with that, are you guys acting as a sub-affiliate network, joining programs in any
Yes.
capacity? Okay.
Sure. Yeah. So our we call it our outcome engine side of things. They do a lot of that. They are the third party network. They can provide lead sources, mobile application opportunities. Sky's the limit over there. And
Mhm.
then on my side of the business, I work on the agency. So we do program management for direct to consumer brands, B2B brands, those kinds of things.
Beautiful. And that segments into what do you do there? Tell me more.
So, as I mentioned a little bit before, I'm the director of accounts here. I manage a team of 6 or 7 right now, account managers that are really focusing on our mid tier and entry level brands. So, we have them segmented into 3 different tiers. We have enterprise level, which is the large guys that you can think of. One of our biggest clients there is Capital One Shopping. We work with them essentially on our enterprise level of team, and our executive vice president, his name is Craig McGlynn, manages the enterprise team. I am the manager of the prime team and the essentials team. So that's our mid-tier team, which is not necessarily small brands, but maybe brands that don't want to invest into the enterprise level of tier. And then we have our essential brands, which are startups and SMBs and those kinds of opportunities where they come in and they just really want to start up an affiliate program and they don't know where to begin. We kind of walk them through that process. So I manage both of those teams, but together we as an organization are very much a hive mentality. So Craig and myself, we are the 2 leaders of the agency, plus our C-suite team, which is Bill Greer, Aaron Sickich, and Matthew Lord. Those are our main, and Brad Dobkins as well. So those are our C-suite level of people, and then it kind of trickles down from there.
Cool. And we saw James in
Yeah,
here.
big fan of James.
James is a big fan of this show. He's always telling me I'm doing good work, and he's just a
He's
supporter. Just
amazing.
love his vibe, and then we nerd out on baseball and
Yeah.
stuff. So also super cool. What's up, James? And then he kind of went over this, but like, who are you serving here? Is
Sure.
this merchants in the small market or the large market? What does this look
So,
like?
so the sky is the limit in terms of gambit. We have fintech brands, we have direct to consumer brands, and then we also have some out of the box brands. Like for an instance, we have
Mm.
a company that we work with that focuses on futures and how to trade the futures market. Where to go from there. And it's a very unique type of program. So somebody who's not interested or not knowledgeable in the trade space, for example, can go and learn how to trade futures on the market, and they will help you do that, and they'll actually fund you to do that. They're called Lulu Trading. So we do some of these outside of the box partnerships as well as the traditional affiliate programs and direct to consumer opportunities.
Okay, excellent. And the agency itself, do you guys do anything outside of the affiliate
Yeah.
channel? And you're working this all together into like the full funnel
Yeah.
presentation,
So
essentially.
since we're kind of going to jump into that, it's really great for me to kind of give you this idea. But we do, as I was mentioning before, the affiliate space has really evolved and it's more of a performance marketing space. That's one of the things that PerformCB has really changed our verbiage. We're really focused on
Mhm.
performance marketing and touching all digital elements that we can within our purview and trying to convert those into performance only opportunities. So what would have traditionally been a budgeted line item for, say, trademark bidding or PPC bidding or SEM bidding, we now have partnerships that we can bring in through the performance program that can service that need to the client, but only being paid out on a performance only basis. So the client is more interested in obviously testing in that market because the risk is a little bit better for them. And, the risk and reward factor is really, really great. So we touch base in a lot of PPC marketing. We dive into influencer marketing, as influencer and affiliate kind of go hand in hand in terms
Mhm.
of things. We really kind of try to diversify out our opportunity. There is no limitation or walls or ceilings when it comes to what PerformCB will do for our clients, as long as we're staying within our scope of work and our purview and making sure that we're really honing in on growth. Our whole thing is growth hacking and how do we grow a
Hmm.
program as quickly and efficiently as possible and making sure that we are leveraging all the partnerships that we could possibly leverage throughout the funnel.
Yes, yes. That is interesting, and our industry has become has evolved radically over the last 5 years, with a lot of companies working on a performance basis and believing in their process, where other agencies or companies in the past have worked on a upfront flat fee of some
Yeah.
sort. just so many performance believers are showing up. And I remember the first time I ran into IM Wave. I had Eric Nagel
Mhm.
here last week, but IM Wave was the first company that I ever employed to do PPC campaigns and do brand bidding on a performance basis. And that was eye opening to me.
It's insane what they can do, and even down to, like, CC television, right? Like, TV Scientific, for an example, is a
Yes.
great new, I call them a third-party aggregator, but basically an outside-of-the-box partnership that in the past, to get CC television or to get like, any kind of inclusion on television was gonna be hundreds of thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars for a brand. Now they can come in and work with a company like TV Scientific, and for a small nominal fee or no fee at all, depending upon, site traffic,
Yeah.
uh, all
Yeah.
that jazz. Like, there's the ability to be serviced on Hulu and Paramount Plus and all of these opportunities where people are now consuming their content. Like, let's be real, even taking it to that aspect of things, like, people are no longer going to be using cable. 10 more years from now, I foresee cable being a thing of the past, or being a very small fraction of what we do. People are utilizing streaming services, and what a great way to introduce performance marketing right now as it's becoming more of the norm. And I love opportunities like TV Scientific where we can do that for our channel and for our programs. Just to give you some backgrounds, in the month of March, TV Scientific ran for two of our programs. One was a footwear brand, another is a nutrition supplement brand. I can't share those names, but in the course of those 2 months, they were able to generate over $100,000 for the footwear brand in 1 month in revenue. And for that nutrition brand, the smallest amount of revenue we saw from them was a $30,000 inclusion. So it's just one of those things where these are big potential partnerships that can drive a lot of revenue, incremental new customer revenue, which is key right now, especially in today's climate and day and age. It's really great to be able to diversify into those opportunities.
That is an awesome story to hear. I tried working with Vicky over at TV Scientific, didn't work out with the brand I was working on, just because the integration was a bit of a pain on our
Yeah,
end, not on her end and their team, but really interesting what they're doing over there. And they're really coming up like wildfire.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, explain the concept of what TV Scientific does for the
Sure.
folks out
Yeah.
there
So
that
what they
might be
do is they
interested.
require a brand to install some JavaScript onto their page, provide some creative, or they can provide creative on a brand's behalf for an additional fee. But essentially, it's like a one to, and Vicky's going to kill me because I don't know the exact parameters, but it's like a 1 to 2 minute video that is required essentially, and then they'll take that information, they'll make sure the JavaScript is running properly. It takes about 4 to 6 weeks for implementation, and then they'll service up that creative ad through Hulu, through Paramount Plus, through, they have an NBC Universal partnership, and any of those streaming services where people pay the lowest amount, where they showcase some sort of
Yeah,
commercial.
ad. Yeah,
That's the commercial that shows up nowadays. So it's not traditional commercials that you're seeing on cable. These are going to be those ads that you create. And what they'll then do is either put a QR code or some sort of parameter around that will then service over to their website and then convert from there, or utilize a coupon code. We have the ability now
yeah,
to monetize coupon codes, and we're able to kind of garner that. But they also have their own reporting, and they provide that update to us as well in terms of like the types of conversions that they can drive based upon X, Y, and Z parameters. So it's really
yeah,
interesting to see how technology has evolved, and therefore we're able to kind of offer these great opportunities to typically new brands and new opportunities in the digital marketing space, instead of it just being affiliate only, traditional affiliate model, blog post, link,
yeah,
go forward.
yeah. One quick note, like with TV Scientific, they're taking the traffic that was already on your website, pixeling it, and then turning that end user, sending that message onto the TV screen,
Exactly.
right?
Hmm.
Okay, so they're already hot to your brand. Now they're seeing you on TV, and just think about that thought process of like, I can't think of how many times I've watched TV. And I'm like, wow, they have a TV
I know.
commercial. They can afford TV. That's crazy. I didn't expect that from that brand. Like, it's a good thing
100%.
to be a part of, and TV Scientific is doing it in a really cool way. Go give them a look up. Um, Now, getting back to this full
Sure.
funnel attribution, uh, our whole topic here today is talking about the full funnel channel mix for a healthy affiliate program. Let's dive into that. What does that look like to
So
you?
traditionally, a lot of marketers will come to us, and we call brands marketers at the PerformCB agency. A lot of our marketers will come to us, and they already have preconceived notions on what we call conversion partners. And traditional coupon sites, deals, loyalty sites, we call those conversion partnerships. So they'll have
Okay.
preconceived notions on they don't drive incremental value, they don't drive revenue for us. These are cannibalized opportunities that we would have gotten either way. So when I first came on board at PerformCB, our CSO, his name is Matt Lord, and I sat down as well as our EVP, Craig McGlenn, and we just said, like, how do we prove this either truthful or how do we prove this as a false statement? So we took some time over the past, I want to say about 8 months, and really, really dived into details and pulled data to really showcase the value behind what we call conversion partners. And what we found was, on average, conversion partners can drive up to 4 times ROAS versus content and influencer partnerships. And the reason that is because A, you do not have to pay them at the same level you would have to pay out for a CPA on an
Okay.
influencer or content partner. For an influencer, content could be anywhere from 10 to 50%. Whereas with conversion partners, they typically will accept 3 to 5% on a CPA because of the volume that they drive. So you're already seeing the ROAS there. But on top of that, we were also able to find that they are the ones driving new customers to our site, consistently driving new customers to marketer sites and those kinds of opportunities on average. Now, obviously, there's going to be one-offs, but if we're looking at it from an average perspective, and we took about 50 accounts and really looked at all of the metrics from these 50 accounts, the majority of the drivers were those conversion partners. So what we do and what we take an approach is that we will, when we bring on or ingest a new marketer into our system, we will do an internal audit. Who do you have in your program? Who's
Hmm.
driving revenue for you? What are they set at for CPA? Can we ultimately lower their CPA or adjust their CPA and then use an additional CPA for negotiation tactics for better placement on their websites? And really optimize those partnerships while we're cultivating content partnerships. Because you and I both know content partnerships are great and they drive a lot of awareness, but they are not driving incremental new customers. It's just proven facts at this point in time. And I know that you have a link that you're going to share in a little bit to showcase our white paper. And I really just want to throw this out there. I recommend anybody going and downloading that because there's a lot of information for anybody in the agents industry that's really wanting to show the value of what conversion partnerships do. But getting back to what I was saying, so we'll deep dive into their program and identify top conversion partnerships that they're missing, exactly what they need to be successful, even if it's something as simple as an evergreen coupon code so we can stop cannibalization from the larger partner that I won't say their name, that has an entire team that will just go out and scour the internet for any coupon code for that brand. If you give them
Hmm.
direct opportunity for them, and it only has to be one and it doesn't have to be a massive discount, we notice that we're seeing 4 times return on ad spend or higher from these conversion partners. And they're really driving the value of incrementality at that point in time.
Well, that's awesome. And no doubt, like you save money with coupon sites. It's no secret that I usually don't allow them in my program altogether just because I don't like them taking away from the top of the funnel
Right.
contributors, right? But if you have a system in place where you're saving 4 times that money, that's a good thing. But do you go back and reinvest that in like
100%.
sponsorships to?
100%. Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's
that's
great.
getting to the next point. Absolutely, we do that. So that money that we save, we always encourage our marketers to then reinvest that into tenancies with those awareness partnerships, with those influencers, with those top content, top tier partnerships that make sense for them, that might not necessarily drive revenue right away, but maybe evergreen will, down the road, 6 months from now, they might be generating some opportunity. But what they are bringing in value is that SEO backlinking opportunity, getting the crawl on the page, getting them up further in terms of their competitors, as well as saturating the market and saturating their name. So if it's not a well-known brand, like, I'm going to use Walmart for an instance. If it's not a well-known brand like Walmart, but say that they're a competitor of Walmart, we want to be wherever Walmart is. So we'll utilize that savings and then service ourselves up either through PPC or through tenancy or paid placement opportunities that really make sense. So the client is then reinvesting their savings back into their program and then diversifying their channel mix from there. And we will award out different CPAs depending upon where an affiliate falls within the funnel. And then we also have VIP opportunities. So if there's an ability to say they want to do a tenancy, but we only have $2,000 to invest, maybe we can increase them from 10% to 50% during that tenancy placement and negotiate opportunities. So we have the ability then to really diversify how we approach different areas of the funnel. And one of the things I just want to drive home is that affiliate is not one size fits all. And every part of the funnel is going to be unique to every type of brand that we work with. So by getting the lower funnel or the conversion partners really moving and getting them driving revenue, it gives us time to cultivate relationships with those awareness partners and those influencers, and the conversion partners will sustain as we then bring in those awareness funnels. And then those third party out of the box opportunities like TV Scientific that we mentioned is that middle funnel part of the funnel that really helps kind of, I always say that instead of funneling down, it always funnels up to me. I like to work on the bottom and then work my way up, because building those content relationships take time.
100%. And I think there's a good message there as well with the content and your influencers that say, hey, I don't have budget today to give you sponsorship, but if you promote us and we get this wheel running, I'm going to be collecting budget from savings from coupon sites. We get to reinvest that, and you're going to be the first person that I come to reinvest this money for additional opportunities. Do you think you guys could do me a solid and start working on a commission basis early on? And that message seems to resonate pretty well, but not everybody is on board with it. But you can do your best as a negotiator.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said, it's not one size fits all, but it is in the larger scale of things. We are seeing success in doing this. And it's one of the things that I'm really proud of my team. For an example, we have roadblocks and all the time, but there's goals and KPIs that we're constantly achieving. And on a consistent basis, by taking this approach, my team is seeing success across multiple channels. And that's why we have partnerships that have lasted. Agency partnerships don't tend to last that often, but we've got partners that have been with us for 8-9 years and have no intentions of leaving our organization because they trust us. Affiliate marketing at the end of the day is all about relationship building. They trust us. We're honest, and we don't sugarcoat anything. We're very direct with them and saying, if you want to be successful, you need to reinvest in this channel, and it can be a lucrative channel for you, but we need freedom to diversify our funnel approach. And we need funding to make sure that we're securing those placements for you. And our marketers are successful because of that.
Awesome. Great points there. Now continuing on to attribution and what the perfect setup is. I've never found a perfect affiliate program. I've never created the perfect affiliate program, but what are you guys striving for? What's it look like in your guys' eyes?
In a perfect world, and I'm sure some network partnerships are going to be mad at me for saying this. In a perfect world, I'd like to see every single network be able to offer an MTA or a multi-touch attribution model. That just isn't readily available across all networks right now. So a lot of our programs are in traditional last click model, but I love the idea. And this kind of talks about the conversion, the funnel as well. Like being able to diversify payout through an MTA is what I would consider. And this is my honest opinion. And again, it's just one person's opinion, but I honestly feel like being able to do an MTA really would be able to cultivate those relationships with the awareness partnerships, really driving in content and those opportunities and rewarding them for their introduction into a brand. One of the things I hate about last click is that sometimes conversion partners can cannibalize that, and that is a traditional message. But in those instances where a awareness a partnership or what we consider consideration, which are those third-party opportunities, drives introduction but doesn't close the sale, MTAs are always going to be my go-to method. There's also the opportunity of diversifying into first click. I know a lot of networks are starting to focus on first click attribution. I haven't delved a lot in that, full honesty. Like we don't have a lot of first click opportunities right now, but as they come on board, I think it's really fascinating to take that data and see how well they perform versus the traditional last click model. Did that answer your question?
I believe so. So last click is everybody's default.
Yeah.
But it is not in your ideal game plan. Is essentially
Correct.
would you do the split attribution? Would you do multiple attribution? What would you go with here?
So I think my answer, to simplify my answer right now, MTA or multiple touch attribution is my North Star goal. I
All
don't
right.
have enough data, and I don't think there is enough data yet on first click attribution for me to say whether I think it's going to be sustainable long term. But in terms of right now, what we have in our ecosystem, MTA would be my first choice, then maybe first click, and then finalize out with maybe last click. I have a love-hate relationship with last click because I think that
Okay.
it's traditional, it's easy, we all know it, but I think we need to get out of our comfort zone a little bit and test the
So
waters.
true. So true. Like it is comforting.
Yeah.
And people are going to expect it. But if you want to go above and beyond for clients, like you might have to think outside that box. And with the networks that you're working with, I can expect you're using some of the major ones to set
Yeah.
these up with that
Mhm.
MTA. Does Perform CB do this on the ClickBank side, or is this something you have to go to Impact for?
So we will do it as an agency partner with whatever network we're working with. We are a
I see.
diamond partnership with Impact, so we have a lot of our programs are on the Impact network. But we also work with CJ, Partnerize, and Ascend now, ShareSale, and AWin, Everflow. Like we have opportunities on all of them, so we'll go directly into the networks and make any adjustments that need to be made directly in there. So we work directly with network partnerships. We don't Our ClickBooth side of the business, which is now called Outcome Engine, we don't really dive into that very often. They are a publisher. We work hand in hand where they'll join our programs that we have on agency side of things, but they are their own ecosystem within of themselves, and they drive really great value.
Oh no, I think we lost her. All right. Well, while she's out, we're going to go with a sponsor of the day. And big surprise here, it is Impact. Impact is the go to solution I have for affiliate programs when you need that MTA style of tracking attribution. Go check out Impact. They have great packages for companies of all sizes, and they work for me. Uh,
I am
Mandy,
so sorry about that. My internet went out, of course.
the sponsor of the day, not to worry. We segmented into it very well.
Oh, good, good.
Just set me up there. And if you want to go check out the Perform CB white paper, they have it down below. It's dustinhouse.com/performcb, and you'll be able to take a look at that. It looks like we got some chats going on as well. Uh, Such a great point. I mean, you're going to have to be more specific here, Brenda Liz. Uh, Mandy's
I think she mentioned when we were talking about attribution models. I know Brenda, she also works for me here at PerformCB.
okay.
The ongoing conversation Brenda and I have about multi-touch attribution versus traditional last click attribution models.
Beautiful. All right. Yeah. Mandy's dropping so many knowledge bombs here. It's tough to keep up. So we did our sponsor of the day, and that segments into hot news of the day. Impact.com just came out with their new product, Create, and this is an influencer platform that they're integrating into their existing awesome platform that they have. You come from the influencer background. We're going to LTK. What are your thoughts on this and initial impression on another company adding on influencer marketing to their suite of services?
Honestly, I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised by it. I think it's a great move on the impact side of things for them to stay relevant and to stay top of funnel and compete with the Rakuten situation. I do think, and I love Rakuten. I think Rakuten's great, but I love the impact team and I love what they're doing over there. And obviously, we're preferred partners with them. So to be able to bring in an affiliate model makes a ton of sense, or excuse me, an influencer model makes a ton of sense. And I love being able to do that for my current partnerships. I'm not super familiar with what Create is. We just got some introduction to them as of Monday. So still deep diving into that. But I will say I'm excited to see more and more opportunities coming into the influencer space where it is tied to affiliate performance marketing, specifically Mavely. I'm really excited to see what Mavely is going to bring to the table. They are a direct competitor with LTK, with I think it's Collective Soul, which used to be Shop Style, which is owned by Rakuten, Grin, and those kinds of opportunities. And even taking it back old school, I'm going to take it back 10 years, like IZEA. on board and was really the one that was showcasing influencer marketing, the value it could provide to affiliate space. The only differentiator between the two is that there's multiple different types of partnerships across the affiliate space, whereas influencers focused on content. But it's still a part of our ecosystem. It's still a massive, huge part of our ecosystem. So to see more and more networks bring in these opportunities and be able to diversify our performance channel, I'm all for it. I'm super excited to utilize it. I'm really excited to see how well Create is going to plug into our existing programs that we have currently going on. I want to shout out to our direct contact, Drew, over at Impact. He is really excited and has been super eager to kind of like build out our programs. And I love what they're doing. Essentially, I'm just excited to get in and really hone in and have my team start to utilize it.
I am as well. I need another opportunity to jump in there. I've every client that I've ever had on Impact is at least in the last 2 years since the integration of Media Rails and some of their other acquisitions, been really great to be on their platform. And from a recruiting aspect, um, just super helpful in terms
100%.
of of finding the right partners for your program. Really like what they're doing over there. So great to see. And speaking of the continuation of evolving in this space and influencer marketing, where do you think next steps are going to go? If we're seeing this trend from platforms and networks, what's next? Who else is going to be injecting influencer marketing into their suite of services here?
I love that you actually segued into that, because there was another point I wanted to bring up to you. There's another company that we just started working with called Open Sponsorship, and it's a way to take things from the sports space, right? So I don't know if you remember, a couple of years ago, the Supreme Court changed it to where college students could then get brand deals and those kinds of things, but they don't have the kind of following typically to get large brand deals that you would see NBA players or you'd see baseball players, those kinds of things. So Open Sponsorship is another network, sub-network similar to LTK, Mavely Grand, those kinds of things, but they focus on right now athletes, all different
Okay.
types of athletes from around the world, from college level up to NBA stars. I mean, Shaq is on there. And it's a similar situation to like LTK and those opportunities. So diversification is basically my answer to your question. I really see it diversifying out into the celebrity space, which it already does, right? But to bring it into the performance marketing industry, I think we're going to see more and more solutions come to the table that are going to be able to give you direct access to the celebrity space, that are going to give you direct access to these musicians, that are, all types of opportunities. I think there's going to be a lot of diversification. I think we're going to see more and more networks evolve their tracking platforms to then track more data from the influencer side of things. One of the things that LTK does really well, although they don't share this information, is that they are able to gather really great data on exactly which influencer drives revenue for a brand from the life cycle of the brand, which influencer is going to.
You're still good. You're still good. We heard you.
Am I back? Can you hear me?
Yeah, your audio is still good. Keep on rolling.
Okay. So which influencer are going to drive revenue? Which influencer is going to really be the driving factor? Because at the end of the day, talking about what we were talking about before, content partnerships really take a long time to cultivate. These are ones that are driving revenue from the get, similar to what you're seeing from the conversion partnerships we talked about earlier. So I love that LTK has that data. I wish that they could share that data out. Maybe they have something in the roadmap where they're planning to do that, but I do see more and more influencer solution providers coming out and providing that proprietary data either on a SaaS model or a pay-to-play model or an additional fee. So I think there's going to be more openness within the influencer space, more openness to consumer as well. So consumers understand that influencers are a part of this kind of ecosystem, as well as really honing in specific skills. We are actually building out Maham, who you mentioned earlier, is an influencer strategist on our team, and she's really building out great influencer programs utilizing these opportunities for our brands. We're seeing a lot more investment into influencers and the purpose of influencers in the United States specifically.
Fantastic. And I don't know exactly what Impact's model is for Create. If you have to be an existing customer,
Yeah.
if you have to, or you can buy this a la carte. And I have no idea. I'm talking to some of the folks over there, and it's just unclear. I mean, it just launched today, so
Yeah.
a lot of questions to be answered in the future. But for those of you, I'm going to do another quick sponsor here because it ties in so well together. Affluencer. I am a big fan of this platform. You can dip your toes into influencer marketing and mix it with affiliate marketing using Affluencer, dustinhouse.com/affluencer. Go check it out and do some collaborations with a small budget. So, well, that ties in really well to what we've been talking about today. And anything else you had on the top of your mind that you wanted to get out before
No, I know.
we close up shop here? I
I
know
know
we've been talking a lot.
Dustin. I told you I had a plethora of knowledge I wanted to share with your people. I think I've hit everything, but there's always opportunity to come back if there's anything else you wanna talk about.
Awesome. I'd love to hear that. I haven't had a second guest or a two-time guest yet, but you could be the first in the future. We'll see how it goes. I'm liking what you're bringing to the table here, Mandy.
Thanks. Anytime. I'm happy to be a regular. I'm just kidding.
Now it is time to defend your post. Now, I see you posting a lot. You're a big fan of evolving as a leader, and that just is amplified in the message you brought today. Like, you've only got 10 years in this industry, but you are a sharp 10 years. Like, you're well above my years of 13. You're doing great work, but I see you posting. There's does that say purpose? There's a purpose for everyone you meet. Some people come into your life to test you, some teach you, some to use you, some to bring out the very best in you. And you said it's so true. Tell me why you think this is so true.
So one of the things when I came to work for PCB, I was, talking to a couple of different agencies. I knew I wanted to get back into the agency life, but what was a differentiator for me was the interview I had with Erin Sitchich. She's going to kill me. The interview I had with our CEO, Erin, as well as our Chief Strategy Officer, Matt Lord, and our CFO, Bill Greer. I wanted to know from a get, because I had been at every level of an agency, how involved do you get? Okay. Are you going to put your money where your mouth is and really hone in on the people that are driving your revenue for you? Or are you going to sit up there and share your thought process down without really getting in? And one of the things that solidified this opportunity for me was Aaron, Bill, and Matt saying, we absolutely roll up our sleeves. We are there for every single one of our team members. And then they provided examples for me. And that was a differentiator between me choosing this job and the 3 other jobs that I had lined up at the same time. It was a chosen factor of, it might not be as well known as some of those other opportunities, but the leadership team matters more to me at this point in my career than money. And being able to hone my skills and working for people that are going to educate me and advance my knowledge level is really important. And I always said, if I was going to come back in and manage a team of the size that I manage, I wanted to be the leader that I had wanted, way back in the day, that was encouraging, supportive, and educational. And I've had that throughout my career. I've worked with some amazing people. We mentioned Mike earlier. I've worked with some amazing people in this industry, but I've also worked for some people that maybe weren't so amazing.
We all have.
I wanted to make sure that I was just really becoming the leader I'd always wanted. So I learned from example, and I wanted to make sure my leadership was that as well. So that's where those posts come in. When I'm inspired by those, I'm constantly trying to be a servant leader. And I work for my team. They don't work for me. And that's how I take my approach is, if I'm not providing you with what you need to be successful in your day-to-day, let me know what it is, and I will do everything in my power to action that. And that trickles down from our C-suite level down to my director level. Every single member of our team is exactly that same way. We take a hive mentality when it comes to approaches of affiliate programs, but also when it comes to our internal teams. We are a team. Everybody has a say. It doesn't matter whether you're entry level or a C-suite level. Everybody has a say and everybody matters. And that's where that kind of comes from. And that's my thought process and kind of my philosophy in the way that I approach things.
Well, that's well said. And that's a great way to end it. And, PerformCB is not sponsoring today's video at all. I just had on Mandy because I've seen her super passionate about things in this industry, and I wanted to get her perspective, and that's what this podcast, Affiliate Nerd Out, is all about. If you would like to join me on Affiliate Nerd Out, go to dustinhouse.com/nerd and sign up, and I will take a look and schedule you in a couple of months here. I've got a lot of people coming on. Wade got bumped. I was gonna talk to Wade on Thursday, and I had to give him the bump because I got a special opportunity to take the family out of town for something really cool, and we got to do it. So Wade is after this next week. Wade will be coming on. David Hall and Dominic Scafaldi there. And let's see. Oh, we got one more chat before we go.
Just my team being awesome.
Oh, so sweet. Look at all that support. You must be loved. That's good to see. Awesome. Thank you for chiming in, and thank you for watching, folks. And last but not least, if you would like a free call with me for 15 minutes, go to dustinhouse.com/explore. If I am not going to be able to help you, I will point you in the right direction for who can. Mandy, thanks for being here. Appreciate your knowledge.
Thanks for having me, Dustin. I'm super excited about it.
All right, folks. That's it for us. Take care and good luck recruiting out there. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.